สวัสดีค่ะทุกคนยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่ช่องกิ๊กอินเมกานะคะตามสัญญาวันนี้กิ๊กมีคุณพ่อของไทเลอร์ Can you say สวัสดี in Thai สวัสดี
Sawadi.
Yeah this is Tyler's dad today we're gonna do an interview and we're gonna let everybody knows about him so first of all let's start from introducing yourself
Hi, my name is Tony Anzalone. I'm the father of Tyler and now the father-in-law of Kick.
okay so how old are you and what do you do and people wants to know because I think I've told somebody that you were working in Alaska so please tell us about that story about your work
Okay, I'm 53 years old and I became a teacher 8 years ago and I used to teach in the bush up until a couple of days ago. I taught in Wainwright, Alaska, which is in the bush, which means you can only get there by a plane. You can't drive there. There's no roads that go there.
the little tiny plane
Yep, a propeller plane. You have to get on a propeller plane and fly in.
it's interesting
And it's up in the Arctic Circle where the sun.
Yeah, it's 350 miles above the Arctic Circle. In Alaska, where I'm at, which is 350 miles above the Arctic Circle, in the winter, the sun goes down and it stays down for I believe it's like 75 days, and then in the summer, it'll be up in the sky for about 75 days, never going down. It'll just go around in the circle in the sky.
oh okay and you can only you normally come back to Boise like at a certain time in a year like a couple months
Yes, for Christmas I treat it like this is my home, and then I go up there and I do the service of teaching, and then for Christmas I come home, and then I go back again, and then for the summer I come home. Although I did take another job, I no longer teach high school. I am now the director of technology for Yukon Flats School District. So I've moved up in my career.
Okay so นั่นแหละค่ะทุกคนก็คือการแนะนำตัวเบื้องต้นเกี่ยวกับคุณพ่อไทเลอร์นะคะตอนนี้เรามาเข้าสู่คำถามกันเลย Let's start asking question and everybody know you're the big part of Anzalone Pizza and I'd like you to tell them what did you do for Anzalone Pizza
Well, this was ever since I was young. I was brought up by my mother, who was always trying to sell things and make money. And so, when Tyler brought me up to Portland, I met a Thai lady up there that was running a food truck, and I thought that we should do that. So we went ahead and I provided the money, and they provide the work. So I have half of it up, and they have what we call sweat equity, where they put the work into it, so then half of the business is theirs.
so now is clear about the business stuff let's get to family stuff so you are the father of Tyler and also you have another son Vincent
Yes.
which is Tyler's brother and you raised them since they were like little boys how do you like raising Tyler and Vincent and how was it like raising a kid like Tyler
Well, before I became a single parent, I didn't have any idea of how difficult that was to take care of children. So I tried my best to take care of two small children. And ever since then, I've learned that no matter what work I do in the world, it's nowhere near as difficult as it was to try to take care of these kids alone.
okay how was Tyler when he was a kid
How was Tyler when he was a kid? Tyler's the type of kid that I never had to worry about. I worry about Vince sometimes, and when I was younger. Tyler was the kind of kid I always felt like, and I had said this to many people, that I could drop Tyler anywhere in the world and he'd be okay. Now, that's not saying he was a good kid, because he wasn't a good kid. He was but he stood up for himself. He was a strong kid. If somebody messed with him or his brother or his family, he would take care of it. And you know, when you're immature, you take care of it in a violent way. He's a tough kid, and if I was his age, I wouldn't mess with him.
oh and now he's married and he's becoming a very good adult right?
Yes,
yeah
and I attribute that to you. Tyler has grown immensely in the past 2 years. He is very respectful now. He's an awesome man. He has the kind of passion that cannot be bought. That's what it takes to run a good business, is to have passion, and he has passion.
How do you feel having a Thai daughter-in-law?
This is the best thing that's ever happened to this family. She's like truly a diamond, like a diamond.
วันนี้เรามีคำถามเซอร์ไพรส์จากไทเลอร์ด้วย Today we have like some surprise question. I don't even know what is on the paper, but Tyler hand me the paper and he wants me to ask you these questions. So there's so many questions. He said, what did you like about Thailand? So you took a trip to Thailand a few times.
I went once.
Okay.
I like the fact that there was such natural beauty up there. There was such greenery. There are so many plants and the elephants. We went and visited elephants, and that was beautiful too.
Do you like Thai food?
No, you know, I didn't like Thai food. I do now. I didn't like Thai food. I didn't even really like it when I went up to Thailand. I kind of liked it, but ever since you started cooking it now, I love Thai food. But I love her Thai food.
Okay. So what do you think about Thai women? That's from your son.
Well, what do I think of Thai women? I think that women are awesome in general. I find Thai women to be very attractive.
Okay. Would you ever date a Thai woman?
See, my son is trying to get me a wife, I think is what's happening here. Of course I would date it. I mean, this is the example of a Thai woman that I have. It's you. And you've been such a blessing to the family. You're such a hard worker, even though you may get up slowly to go to work.
Yeah.
Once you get to work, you'll work from the moment that you go to work until you come home, and then you work some more, and then you work some more, and you're a caring, beautiful person that, sure, I mean, if every Thai woman was like that, I would love Thai women more than any other women, but I think we just got lucky here.
Okay. So the last question is going to be my question.
Okay.
Do you have any plan about moving to Thailand? And if you do, what are your plans?
Yes, Kik has a plot of land that I bought through her, so it's actually her land, and I want to build a home on it. It's in Kik's village, and I'd like to retire. I'm planning to retire in, I don't know, probably about 14 years, right around there, and then I don't know whether I'm going to totally move there, but what I'll probably do is have a place here in the United States and a place there, so I can go back and forth in retirement. And I look forward to like visiting that whole area, going into Laos, going over into Vietnam. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and I also want to tell people that you are a very good dad, and you have a very good hobby that you do. You exercise and you live down to earth because you live in Alaska, and I believe when you visit my village or spend some time there, you would do good and people will love you just like how it was in Alaska, because the weather is much nicer, but the village and the culture are very similar.
Yeah, there are a lot of similar things that I see with the village culture and your culture. Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you speak any Thai? Do you know any Thai words?
You know, I off the top of my head, just what popped in is Sabadi Mai.
Sabadi mai?
Sabadi Mai? What does that mean again? Is that I'm hungry?
No, that means how are you?
Oh.
How are you? Hungry is
Sawadi?
หิว
หิวไหม
หิวไหมเอาไปปล่อยคุณพ่อไว้ที่ไหนจะได้ไม่แบบอดอยากนะคะเพราะว่าสอนแล้วว่าถ้าหิวให้พูดว่ายังไง I told them that so wherever we go, if I leave you alone in Thailand, then you always have food because I taught you how to say like I'm hungry. Yeah. All right, so that's the interview. How long is the video right now, babe?
10.
10? Okay, that's a perfect video. Thank you so much for doing the interview.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
No, it was like perfect.
Because I can go forever. I'm a teacher.
Yeah. You can even go more if you want to.
No, that's good. That's fine.